everybody, welcome to Whiskey Mystery, I hope. Are we live? Yes, I think we are. So, I'm Phil. Obviously, there's no Deepa here. She is still in Singapore. I think the dust is settling a little in Singapore. Hanging out with the parents and the sister, sorting out life over there. She still may not be back until December though. So you have to go and put up with me until then. We'll do these little Sunday chats at least. Today's going to be a short one, just 30 minutes. These are the bottles that are not in the blind tasting that I've never... I don't think they've ever really been featured on the show. Oh, hang on, Jack Daniels. Has that one been on? Barrel proof? Not even sure. Who is in? I think we picked 3. I saw Mark Hicksey, you had an early request. Where's the Blair Athol? Blair Athol. Right, Blair Athol, that'll be one. Let's see, let's have 2 more. I think we can compare. Who is in? See, Jimmy Jazz. Oh, Melissa. Melissa is in. Hicksey, Lucas, Gerben, Jimmy Jazz. Jimmy Jazz, Gerben, you're all chatting. Nice to see you. Whiskey 101, Akwami, Top Shelf Dustin. Stefan, hey Stefan, how you doing? Now, time-wise, oh, Greg's in as well, and Pete Head, nice. Time has shifted again in California, at least. We are 1 hour earlier. Although I think in Europe, is this normal time in Europe for you? It's 1 hour early here. I'll say Glenbergie, maybe to start. Thinking of you more than me. Is the Glenbergie here? Here it is. Glenbergie, it is. What else are we going to do? Oh, look at that, Jack Daniels. Don't make me drink it, Dustin. Anyone else? Let's see. I need to watch. I had G&M tasting last night. Oh, I caught that Springbank win again. What? You won a Springbank, Jimmy Jazz? Is that right? Fantastic. I think Europe changes times to like 2 weeks different. I know, yeah. It's all over the place. Are we finally getting rid of time shifting next year? I only half paid attention in the news. Okay, Greg, it is the same time. Is it? I don't know. Whatever. Who watched the Oswas? I enjoyed the Oswas show this year. I enjoyed it last year as well. But it was good seeing all the people in. Greg, I'm against time changes as well. So annoying. Gherkin. We're celebrating my son's 3rd birthday. Wow, congratulations. With Tamdu 12 in India. Hope you and everyone else raise a dram. As soon as I pour one, we should pour. Let's raise a dram. Gherkin's 3-year-old birthday today. We'll start with the Blair Athol. Cheers. Happy birthday. Oh, sherry. Right. We should give that a drop of water. 58%. I'll give it quite a drop of water. The Glenbergie. Let's see. Greg has requested the Glenbergie. 54%. Let's see. Gerben. The Cadenhead wine cask looks great to start with. That would be the... Okay, there's our 3. We are going to put away, for next time, Ardmore, Ben Nevis, Manzanilla, Bunnahabhain, 24-year Colila. That is a good one. 26-year Glentalkers. This is 25-year Isla. Who knows where? Jack Daniels. The Laphroaig 16. This is the Laphroaig 22. Another Cadenhead bottling. Longrow Red, the 10 Malbec, and Springbank tasting room bottle from the first time we visited. When was that? 9/19. Quite a long time ago now. Right. So you've picked three. You've picked three strong ones and interesting ones. Let's go through them. Actually, what strength do we have? 53. We're 53, 54, 58. We have, let's have a look at this label. Maybe we can tilt the camera a little more. Cadenhead, wine cask. But it is a Craigellachie. See, they still get to use the Glenlivet name. Cadenheads. So this is, let's see, a 94 bottled in 2015. So 21 years. And what type of wine cask? Do we see it? Oh, Sauterne, of course, there it is. And I knew that. That is going to be good. We paid how much? Let's see. Ooh, not that cheap. $285 for that at the auction. It is 9 years in Sauterne. Presumably the rest in Ex-Bourbon. Prior to that, there's some interesting... Am I seeing interesting marks on the inside? No, it's a strange reflection. Right, the Glenbergie. I guess this has featured because this was from our original visit to Springbank when we did the Cadenhead's warehouse tasting. And you taste them out of the barrel and you can choose to buy a bottle that you fill up, you know, with your, fill up the valance and stick a label on. And so this one, I think it was just 3 years in the sherry, if I remember right. Sherry hogshead. Oh yeah, since August 17. Yeah, there you go. So distilled in 04. We bought this in 2019, so 2 years or so in the sherry hogshead. It's funny, when you're at a warehouse tasting, they don't really say what age the whiskey is typically, because it's obvious. But it wasn't obvious to me, because the barrel, you know, it'll say filled on whatever 2003 or something. So of course you have to be like, well, how old is it? Work it out, because it's not bottled. They haven't labeled it yet to say what age it is. But there's the distillery date, or the fill date at least. And the last one then, or the first one requested, Hixie. This is an official Blair Athol 23-year-old. This is the most expensive one, $369. It was a auction purchase, I think. And the Glenbergie was only, what did we, $69 we paid for that. So $3.9 per year, normalized at 40%, $11 per year. Oh, how's that $9 per year? I guess so. Wow, the different strength. I guess it is 58%. So it's actually the Craigellachie works out as the most expensive per year. Right, over to the chat while they have a little time. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. It's 1 hour earlier in Europe. Oh, it is early in Europe. So I am early because we've time shifted, but I'm also at 12 o'clock here in the US. Oh, I see, Dustin. So the Senate has voted to forget time changes, and the House hasn't even voted. Pathetic. There's a lot of pathetic in the voting system, though, isn't there? Gerben watched the Oswas. Very good. Sandro enjoyed it as well. Yeah. My viewer's choice would be the Cadenhead. Is it the Laig? Stefan. It'll have to be the next one. The J22, it is. My potential auction win next week. Oh, very good. Already have 2 miniatures of it. Have you tasted it? How's that Glentalkers doing? Have you tried it again since? I haven't drunk anything since last Sunday. I'm just back from running. Actually, if you see some lines on my head, because my running hat was tight today. I'm not into Oswas at all, but I just had a glimpse on it, and I was happy to see all Springbank staff though I didn't manage to see Nicole celebrating their second award in a row. The Springbank staffers, they were well into their party, it seemed like. It was November 5th, fireworks night in the UK, so Gherkin, hey lads. Oh, the chat jumped. Me on some Sochu tonight. Wow, Greg. That's a change. Okay. If I start drinking yesterday at 5 a.m. and I stopped at 4 a.m. I drank 12 hours. See, time change doesn't work, Dustin. That sounds like a committed session. I've only one wine cask from Cadenhead, and that was a Longrow rum cask. Is rum a wine? Do they class that as a wine? Do they put the wine label on a rum cask? I thought their rum casks were green or something, weren't they? That Blair Athol is still sitting in store over here, but very expensive. Yes, I suspect it's not worth it. How much is it over there, Hixie? It was expensive here, but I thought I got a better price at the auction, but it wasn't that much better. Right. Let's just go on the nose then. Let's compare. So we're sherry, right? Yeah. Quite Highland Parkish type of sherry with a little mango or something like that going on in the mix. Michael Wood, just questioning the pronunciation of Athol, Phil. Wondering if it is pronounced or is it a TH? Blair Athol? Blair Athol, I think, right? I haven't heard it pronounced any other way. Sakura finish, as in cherry blossom sakura, is that right? Yes, Greg, looking into diverse spirits, I can understand that. Oh, Henrik, you found a Dark Origins at Total Wine San Ramon. Had it yesterday and it's great, fantastic. Still on the shelf, just about. It is a super heavy sherry, isn't it? Gerben Blocker, you are right. It was Tanninic. Oh, I don't know what I was right about. I don't think. I still haven't had Compass Box Orchard House. Has everyone had it? I haven't had it. Okay, this is, yeah, there's something like a mango nectarine on top of the sherry. Actually quite lovely, that nose. And it seems like there's a lot going on in it. So actually that's better than I remember. More interesting. Sherry isn't super overpowering. It's quite fresh nose. Let's go through some comparisons then. Glenbergie with a couple of years in sherry hogshead. This is much more like Glendronach, I would say. It's a bit more earthy, heavier, darker notes. Yeah, and this one is lighter now. It's a bit musty, some old funky socks going on in here as well. And of course the Cadenhead warehouse is a dunnage at Springbank, so it's interesting. It's quite dunnagey, and it does take me back there. I was just thinking about standing in the warehouse where we tasted it first time. Stefan, the Glentockers is fantastic. Happy to have one open, two closed. No, I have not tried it yet. Has to wait. But I've tried another 21 from Le Jague. Oh, from Old Particular. World class. Very nice. So, more Glendronach heavier sherry. Sort of mangoes and sherry over here. Now, the Craigellachie is an unusual whiskey spirit in itself. Not as obvious winey notes as these two. Kind of a muted, almost like moss in a barn, like a stone barn. Yeah, a little bit of sweetness underneath. Some kind of digestive biscuits, malty as well. A little bit of that copper pipe thing that you seem to get with Craigellachie. Whether it's the worm tubs or whatever. Okay, where do we go first? Youngest first, I think. This seems to be the most conventional. Gerben, the Longrow 17 rum cask is a green label, not a wine cask. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Sakura is cherry tree, indeed. I only know Greg because our Japanese friend's daughter is Sakura. Oh, Lucas, Compass Box Spice Street also did well. I was happy about that. Very good. I have a bottle of Compass Box Orchard House. I should have taken 6, but I've not enough room. Wow, is that good, Greg? Fantastic. Lucas, compare the Orchard House with Kilkerran 12, the old bottle. They really are. Oh, quite a few similarities in taste. That's right, you did say that last time. Okay, Glenburgie. Yeah, Glendronach-y type sherry. Okay, the X. Oh, it's quite strong. First sip of the day. Let me just let that heat just roll off a second. I'll go for a second sip. Initial arrival was quite strong sherry, but then the Ex-Bourbon rolled through. A little bit spicy. It's a sherry hogshead, so it shouldn't be European oak, I don't think. Let's put it on the close-up camera. Oh, you can see me in the other corner, can you? Let me try it again. It's like half Glendronach, 18, and half, so almost going a bit like Arran 14. There is, what's that second half? I'm sure it's the Ex-Bourbon coming in. It's like a fresher oak. Nose is all sherry, not so much on the palate. Goes slightly Highland Parky. A little bit spicy. A little flat in this second half, actually. Finish not too long. Quite pleasant. Quite a nice balance of sherry. Maybe it was a bit boring and they sherried it up for a couple of years. Pretty good. I don't think it would make it on the shelf these days. Don't think so. One more try. It's a little flat in the middle, a little anonymous. Overall, not a particularly strong character. I think the nose was more interesting. Perfectly good. That's $70. An absolute bargain. So, right, back to the chat. Sandro, does Blair Athol taste its age? Does it have a long finish? The older, refined nuances. I think that's where we go next. That'll be a good contrast, I think. What bottles are on the table? Hey, Welsh. We have a Craigellachie Sauterne, a Glenburgie Warehouse Tasting, finished in sherry, also from Cadenheads, and an official Blair Athol. That's where we're going to go next. Was this some kind of special release? Who, Blair Athol, Pitlochry, doesn't say too much. I guess it's just an official Diageo release, isn't it? I don't think it was US only or anything. Let's see. How's the chat? Let's see. I think I detected in the Oswas last night a growing feeling about price quality. Too much price, not enough quality. That's just in general, isn't it, Welsh? It's hard to... I think that's life in general at the moment with inflation. What are we going to do about it? The whole thing going on, certainly in the US, is to try and crush our spirits and stop us spending so prices will come down. Maybe that will work for whiskey as well. I'm keeping a close eye on the whiskey auctions. We'll see how the prices go again this month. They definitely peaked a couple of months ago and they are rolling over and they are on the way down, just like house prices. Stefan, sadly, I have to leave. I will catch the replay later and write a comment. Cheers, Stefan. Well, thanks for joining in. Right. Okay. Sherry overcoat. Oh, this is much more integrated. I wonder how long it was in sherry. Although it's pretty dark, I mean, it could have been refill and sat there for 23 years, but I'm sure this is a vatting of multiple barrels. It's certainly not a single cask. Less Oloroso, I presume, on the nose compared to the Glenbergie, but much more integrated into this sort of, yeah, this mango thing. Okay. A lot of spice at the end, so got to be European oak involved here. First arrival, I was like, oh, a bit disappointing, a little flat. I was going to say it tastes a bit watered down, but it's 58%. Unusual. Tasted like it was a little empty, a little bit of a void, especially at that ABV. So I would say I was disappointed with first contact. But then it did burst, it did open up, and something else started to happen in the second half. So it is showing some age. So let's see again. Why was that disappointing? I always get, you know, if the palate doesn't step up from the nose, or at least match it, there's a disappointment because you're sort of set up to expect a certain thing. And if it doesn't arrive, then you're like, oh, not going to make it. Okay, better. Oh, quite a lot of oaky spice. Kind of bitter finish. Quite a nice bitter. Slightly overpowering, tight, sparkly pepper. Oh, Stefan! I don't even have any papers ready. I will put you on here. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm missing Deepa now. See, that's normally her job. Along with all the drinking. Thank you very much, Stefan. Your name will get into the hat after. Okay, what do I think of this Blair Athol? It's certainly not as good as the Ben Nevis 23 sherry, and that was cheaper because this is $370. That was about $300. But there is some age class in here. I don't think we've quite made it to magic. I'm amazed that that's 58%. It's just a little lacking in flavors. It's almost like it's got the age, but it doesn't have the flavor entertainment. Yeah, well, the bubbles do look like they're 58, don't they? Ah. It's like almost, but no. Let me go back to the Glenburgie because it'll probably seem much younger now. Let's see. It does seem younger, but the flavors are slightly more full and interesting. But it's not better, but let's try it again. It's not bad, but it's not 370 good. It has some overlap with Highland Park 25. The initial arrival of this tastes like a watered down Highland Park 25, meaning that the flavors are like half as much, but they're kind of similar. And then the second half rolls into the oaky age and the spicy sparkles come up, presumably from European oak, but no more flavors come up. And so there isn't enough just flavor to mix with the oakiness. So I would say I prefer it more than Glenburgie, but I think I probably prefer the Arran 21. I think I prefer the Annoch 24. Even the Glendronach 15, because it's more full. Maybe I think it's lower shelf. Not good enough, no. So there you go, Mark. Hixie. Don't rush out and buy that one. It is on the sharing list if anybody wants to try it. It's almost good, but no. If this was 43%, everything would make sense. The fact that it's 58 and it still tastes like the flavors of a 43% whiskey, that's just weird. I think that's a pass, everyone. Don't buy that. Not that you were going to. Okay, back to the chat before we go to our final Craig Ellicky. My nose is dripping. I've been running an experiment in the house. You know, we live in San Francisco. It's not that cold, even though it's, you know, November. If Deepa was here, she puts the heating on immediately. I'm seeing how long I can go without putting the heating on in the house. It's actually quite cold. Internally, at least, because it's the same as outside. I think the house is about 60 degrees at the moment. But the lights for the YouTube show are, you know, like there's probably 1,000 or 2 watts up there, I don't know. So the room is actually getting warmer than it has been before, but I could feel my fingers were a bit cold on my arms. Anyway, I'm quite enjoying this little challenge while Deepa's away, because I wouldn't be able to do it while she was here. Right. YouTube is now would be a good time to insert ads, it's telling me. How about, no, it wouldn't. Leave us alone. We're having a perfectly fine time. Why would I want to insert ads? Bugger off. Didn't you add water to these? Perhaps some take it better. Maybe. I did add a fair bit of water to that, to be fair, didn't I? Let's go for another taste with just a little tiny drop. It is a little fuller. You're right. Good point. But There's almost a chalkiness to that oak. Oak chalk. Flavours are still not good enough. No, they are not. Right. Lucky! Hey all! I miss you guys. But I'm watching this episode. Oh, good. I know, haven't seen you in for a while. Welsh Taro, good point. Age, class, but short of magic. Yeah. A lot of whiskey like that now. Good ones are out there, but it takes a bit of a spider sense to choose wisely. I know, it's very difficult, isn't it? Overall, would you say independent bottles are more likely to be a hit, or official bottles are more likely to be a hit? I would tend to gamble on the independent more than the official. I think the independent, you're more likely to get a singular experience, which might be bad or good. An official one is going to be somewhere balanced, trying to be a bit more mainstream in the middle, isn't it? Greg, also some categories don't make sense. Oh, talking about the Oswas, but I don't want to go into another public rant about this. Well, why are you saying it then? Oh, you just disagree about the whole concept. Okay, fine. And now I lost track of what Phil's taste. See, it's not worth it, Greg. It's not worth it. It can stay on the shelf then. Yeah, Mark, I could have given you a taste of it when you were over. Yes. Okay, Dustin, we were drinking outside last night. It was insanely perfect weather. 65 at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Well done. I hope you had a good night. Oh yeah, you've got no heat because you've got no fuel to burn over there, Greg. It's all a bit messy, isn't it? Phil will freeze to buy a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, I know the feeling. I used to freeze when I was younger. Dustin. What Phil just said. Hey YouTube, I got something you can insert where the sun don't shine. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Definitely the independents these days. Yes, Welsh, I would agree. And with that, I think we get onto the Craigellachie. Let's see. Sandro, independent bottlings are certainly more unique by definition. Typically single casks, aren't they? Because they are much smaller in numbers. Michael Wood, just for info, everyone, regarding Old Ballantrae 10, peated is 50%. It's not hot or peppery and seems a bit thin and hasn't immediately grabbed me. Oh. Could be better. Could be better, Michael. CBB. Could be better something that is used outside of the movie industry? When you're working on shots to final in animation and you're going through it and time is short and it's like you find something that you'd like to fix, often a producer will step in and say, let's put that one on the CBB list. Could be better. Meaning, we've got your note, we're not going to have time to fix it. We'll just mark it as a CBB. So you're saying Old Ballantrae is a CBB. Whiskey 101. No heating on here either, Phil. Kids have 2 pairs of socks and 2 jumpers on. But we also, for beating the energy company. Stay strong. Very good. Craigellachie. Seems to have opened up a bit now. A little grapey, actually, now. Kind of red grape juice on top of something that I would say was a bit Ben Nevis kind of stock cubes, OXO cubes underneath. It's nothing like this Blair Athol. Actually, it's that slightly grassy now. Very obvious sherry. This is slightly grassy as well. I guess these two are more like each other. This is more Glendronach. Okay. Ah, so much more interesting compared to the Blair Athol. So many things going on. And like unique little bumps and turns and twists on that one. Oh, that's great. Let's go again. So, a grapey sherry. Sherry and grape juice mix. I mean, it's a Sauterne. So, obviously it's not sherry, but that's sort of what it noses like. I'm trying to think, we used to have Kilchoman Sauterne on the shelf down there. Does it remind me of anything like that? I'm quite a fan of Sauterne, I think. Great. Love it. There's grassy, funky Craigellachie underneath. Oh, quite a lot of spice on the finish now. Is it a hogshead? 246 bottles at 21 years, so it won't be a hogshead, will it? It'll be something bigger from that Sauterne cask. I wonder if they put more than one hogshead into. How big would a barrel cask be that holds Sauterne? Greg, do you know? Would you be able to put 2 hogsheads worth in? Probably not that big, are they? Wine casks are not so much bigger, are they? 300 litre? Someone tell me. Sauterne should make it sweeter, right? Yes, Bourbon. Lovely. Slightly toffee apple. Candy apple. Welsh Taro, I'm a huge fan of actual Sauterne. I don't know if I've actually had Sauterne. I have to go and get one now. Winner. Lovely. Oh, I really like that. Doesn't quite have magic. Doesn't have ethereal magic. It just has full, interesting twists and turns, long ride. Let's go back to the Blair Athol just to see. Is there anything that's coming out of this now that's more sophisticated? Because this is quite punchy flavours. Oh. Absolutely flat and boring now. No. It wasn't bad by itself. But after this full flavoured, interesting personality, Craigellachie, this is just like someone talking, you know, reading the tax manual in the corner. Boring. What a shame. It holds up better. Tastes younger, but it's more lively. Lively flavours. So we'll call this one the tax man. Not the tax man. The tax person may not be boring. The tax manual. This is boring. It's boring. Not boring. Well done. Oh, great. Where would that go on the shelf? Not in the magic department. Not magic. No, there's a tiny little bit of daffmill going on here as well. A kind of light fruity, slightly perfumey, lovely stuff going on. I think we're up here. I think we're top shelf up here somewhere. Somewhere between the Glentockers, the Balblair. It's not like the other ones there. Better than the Balblair 83, I suspect. I'm going to say it's up there. Very good. Right. Oh, it's already 40 minutes. Okay, that's enough. Oh, Teddy's in. I just had the last Kilcairn 8 sherry matured and love it. The recent one, not the 57.1, because that's not allowed. You're not allowed to like that one. No, Phil, around 220 litres. Yeah. Okay, so not so big. I know Dustin hated the port cask. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, the most recent sherry one. I heard that one is better. Lucas, okay, I'm having the new KK12, and it's still damn good, just not as good as the old one. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, it's good that it's still good. And that by itself is a crime. I really missed the peat kick of the old KK12. Oh, so you're saying it's less peated. Sauterne sounds like wine. Nuff said, Peathead. So much I gave the bottle away, Dustin is saying, about the port. That's the one. Who got it? Did you give it to Keith or someone? Right. Next weekend, show sorted. A bottle of Sauterne and then a lineup of all your Sauterne finished drams. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Whiskey 101. I have to go and look for a Sauterne. Not wine as you know it, Peathead. Yeah. Okay. Michael Wood. Phil, perhaps a nippy sweetie or two is more economic than turning the heating on. Yes. Like this. My hands are still cold. Come on. The lights haven't really warmed the room up. Peathead, I'm more happy to skip any wine matured finishes. Just not for me at all. I would understand that, Peathead, in terms of Longrow reds and things like that. They can be a little weird. Sauterne, though. Sauterne, I think we're starting to get... I mean, sherry is a wine finish, really. Are you not a sherry person either? How about a jumper? Yes. Okay. 58.1. Oh, so it's stronger. At least it's not the 57.1, Teddy. Don't worry about the time right now, Phil. Let's treat the show like the 12-minute timer, meaning no real connection. That's true. Although, I've got lunch with friends, so I do have to go. Lol, yeah, Keith gets all the crap whiskey. Oh, Multiman Cave Keith. I'm sure he enjoys it. Right, let's wrap this up. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll do something similar next Sunday. I see, Sandra. Sauterne are aged in new oak barrels and made from aromatic grapes. I see. Delicious with cheese, or as in France, with pan-fried foie gras. Not allowed in America. With applesauce or a type of chutney. Sounds fantastic. Sauternes is a sweet wine, so a different experience than regular wine. It can still be winey though. Depends how it is made or used in the whiskey industry. Sometimes you'll have no idea it is wine, to be honest. I wouldn't say this comes across as winey. Although I did say it's somewhere between grapes and sherry, didn't I? So that's quite winey. And fantastic. Peter, I find myself more and more leaving the sherried whiskies. Bourbon matured for me. Preferably refill. Well, Peathead, I would certainly mostly agree. We do love an old refill bourbon that's been left forgotten for 20 plus, 30 plus years maybe in a corner of an old dunnage warehouse in Scotland. Can't beat that, can you? Right. Are we done? I think we are. You're all chatting. All right, everyone. Stefan, I will get your name in the hat. Thank you very much for that. And I finished the Craigellachie. Definitely the winner. You know, I'm actually going to say I prefer the Glenbergie over the Blair Athol because it made me sad because of the price. Definitely younger and more simple. Just a tiny drop left. No. Boring. Oh, so spoilt. Right, see you all next Sunday. Cheers.